Hi, children. Sit absolutely still. Observe the movements taking place in your body. You must be blinking your eyes time to time. Observe the movements in your body as you breathe. There are so many movements that happens in our bodies. When you are writing in your notebook, which part of the body are you moving? The different parts of our body move while you remain at the same place in these examples. You also move from one place to another. You get up and go to your teacher or to the school compound or go home after school. Let us see how animals move from place to place. See here, the swan swim, kangaroo hop, the lion walk, the tiger walk, the birds fly. So if you see the animal cow, the which part of the body is moving? Legs. How do they move? They walk. Humans, they use legs to walk. Snake, they use the whole body. The movement is called slithering. The birds, they use wings and legs. They fly and walk. The insects, they use wings to fly. Fish, they use fins and tail to swim. Cockroach, legs and wings to walk or fly. So we move in different way. We walk, we run, we fly, we jump, creep, crawl, slither and swim. These are only a few of the ways in which animals move from one place to another. So why are there many differences in the way? So let's see how human beings move from one place to another. So which are the body parts that is helpful? The human beings move from place to place by walking and running. They also move in order to perform various activities. All such movements are performed with the help of bones and muscles. So what are bones? The bones are hard parts of our body. So the muscles are made up of tissues, and the tissues, soft tissues like tendons and ligaments, also useful to hold the bones and muscles together. So let's learn about the human skeletal system and the various body movement in different animals in this lesson 8. So an adult human skeleton consists of 206 bones. These bones form a framework called the skeleton. So what is meant by skeleton? The bones in our body form a framework to give a shape to our body. This framework is called the skeleton. So what is the use? The skeleton has the following main functions. The first of all, it helps in the movement. It provides support and gives shape to the body. It protects important internal organs such as brain and heart. So the main functions of skeleton are: it helps in movement, it gives support to the body, it protects internal organs. So what are the parts of the human skeleton? The human skeleton has the main parts like skull, rib cage, backbone and the limbs. Skull, rib cage, backbone and limbs. So let's see what is skull made up of and how many bones are there. The skull is made up of 22 bones. The skull is surrounded and protects the brain. It has bones, 8 bones in the skull and 14 bones in the face. Total 22 bones are there. So in this, only the lower jaw is movable. So the skull is made up of 22 bones. Now next one is the rib cage. The rib cage, it is made up of 12 pairs of ribs, means 24 bones. So which are attached to the backbone at the backside, and in the front a long bone is there that is called the sternum. It holds the ribs together in the front. So at the back the ribs are attached to the backbone, and in the front it is attached with the sternum. The last two pairs of ribs are not attached to the sternum. They are called floating ribs. So what is the function of this rib cage? The rib cage protects the lungs and heart. It helps us in the process of respiration. Now the next one is backbone. So the backbone, it is made up of 33 small ring-like bones which are called vertebrae. These bones together form the vertebral column. The backbone is called the vertebral column. The backbone surrounds and protects the spinal cord which runs through it. So what are the functions of backbone? It serves as the pillar of the support. That means it gives support and maintaining the upright posture. It gives posture and it protects the spinal cord also. Now the next one is limbs, the hands and legs. Our arms and legs form our two pairs of limbs. The upper limbs help us to do many things such as holding and moving things. The lower is help us to perform the activities such as walking and running. Femur or the thigh bone is the longest bone in the human body. Now, make your friend stand with both hands pressed to the wall and ask her to push the wall. Do you notice two bones on the back are prominent where the shoulders are? They are called shoulder bones. Now, if you see, pelvic bones are there at the lower abdomen. They enclose the portion of your body below the stomach. This part is helpful to sit. So, there are different parts of the skeleton: skull, rib cage, backbone, limbs, and the girdles, otherwise pelvic bones, otherwise and the pectoral bones. Now next one, if you see, now we have studied about the bones. The next part is cartilage. Many bones and the joints of our skeleton. There are some additional parts of the skeleton that are not as hard as the bones, which can be bent. So they are called cartilages. Now before that, if you see, if backbone was made up of only one long bone, will your friend be able to bend? So there are regions, in some regions in the body where two or more bones connect is called a joint. The region in the body where two or more bones connect is called a joint. Now, depending on how much movements they allow, joints are of the following types. In the picture you can see, it is the immovable joint or fixed joints, slightly movable joints, freely movable joints. Because why the joints are there? Because with that one bone we cannot move, and many bones also we cannot move. So there should be joints so that we can bend or rotate your body in the rotate your bones. Now these places where the joints are there allow us to bend our body parts. So it is different bones joined together at the elbow or at the knee or in the fingers, So we can bend or move our body only at those points where bones meet. So that point is called the joints. So there are three types of joints: immovable joint, slightly movable joint, or freely movable joint. So in this, in the freely movable joint, there are four types. One is ball and socket joint, next one hinge joint, third one pivot joint, then the fourth one gliding joints. So what is meant by ball and socket joint? So the first one, ball and socket joint, a joint in which the rounded ball-shaped end of the one bone fits into the cup-like cavity of the other bone. That is called ball and socket joint. Such a joint allows movement in all directions. So where you can see this ball and socket joint, you can see in our shoulders, shoulder and hip region. You can see the ball and socket joint. Now the next one, hinge joint. You have observed the door. It can move only back and forth and in no other direction. In the same manner, bones joined by hinge joints can move back and forth about one axis only. Our elbow has hinge joint and can move in one direction only. So we can bend it forward and back to the original position, but cannot move it backwards. Example, the joints in the knee, jaw and ankle are the hinge joints. Now the third one we can see, pivot joint. The pivot joint where our neck joins the head is the pivotal joint. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to our right or left. It does not allow free rotation as in case of ball and socket joint. In a pivotal joint, a cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. So first you have seen the ball and socket joint, second one is hinge joint, third one is pivotal joint, and the fourth one is gliding joint. The gliding joint, it allows the bones to move or glide over each other. For example, joints at the wrist and the ankle. Now you have studied the bones, then the joints, and so next one we'll see the cartilages. The cartilage, already I have told you, the cartilages are soft bones. They are not as hard as the bones and which can be bent. If you touch your ears and nose, they are soft. And then with the cartilages we have muscles. So how these muscles work? Make a fist with one hand, bend your arm at the elbow and touch your shoulder with the thumb. Do you see any change in your upper arm? Touch it with the other hand. Do you observe a swollen region in the upper arm? This is a muscle. The muscle bulged due to contraction. So when contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. The muscles work in pairs. When one of them contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes. To move the bone in the opposite direction, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone towards its original position. While the first relaxes, a muscle can only pull, it cannot push. Thus, two muscles have to work together to move a bone. So, we can say the muscles and the bones are very much useful. So now I have told you about the cartilages. It is there in the nose and in the earlobes. The next we see the gait of different animals. So what is meant by gait? Gait means the movement. The different animals have different types of habitats. So their movement also different. The body structure is different in animals. So some animals, they do not have legs. They move in other manner. So these animals have different movement. So now let's see how earthworm move. An earthworm does not have bones and legs. Its body is made up of muscles. The body of an earthworm is made up of many rings, loops joined end to end, and it moves forward by the contraction and expansion of the muscles. During the movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by a small distance by contraction and expansion. The earthworm can move through the soil. The body secretes a slimy substance to help the movement. So, the earthworm moves by contraction and relaxation of its rings of the body, and then it moves. The next one is the snail. A snail has a rounded structure on its back called the shell. You must have seen in our school campus in the monsoon season, you can see many snails. You must have observed how they move. It is the outer skeleton of the snail but is not made of bones. It helps to protect the snail. The shell is a single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. It has to be dragged along. When a snail crawls, a thick structure and the head of the snail may come out of an opening in the shell. The thick structure of it is its foot, that is the muscular foot, which is made of strong muscle, which help them to move further. So the next one is cockroach. How cockroach moves. Cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air for short distance. They have 3 pairs of legs. These help in walking. The body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. This outer skeleton is made up of different units joined together. There are 2 pairs of wings attached to the breast. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the legs for walking. The breast muscles move the wings when the cockroach flies. So, the cockroach moves with the help of 3 pairs of legs and 2 pairs of wings. Now, next one, fish. You know that how fish moves. The head and tail of a fish are smaller than the middle portion of the body. So, this shape is called streamlined. The skeleton of the fish is covered with strong muscle. So during swimming, these muscles make the front part of the body curve to one side and the tail part swings towards the opposite side. First, the fish forms a curve. Then quickly the body and the tail curve to the other side. So this makes a jerk and pushes the body forward. A series of such jerks make the fish swim ahead. This is helped by the fins of the tail. So fins and the tail and the streamlined shape of the body of the fish help them to swim in the water, and it keep the balance of the body and to maintain directions while swimming. Now next one, snake. The snakes do not have legs. They have a long backbone and have many thin muscles. These muscles are connected to each other even though they are far from one another. They also interconnect the backbone, ribs and skin. The snake's body curves into many loops. Each loop of the snake gives it a forward push by pressing against the ground. Since its long body makes many loops and each loop gives it this push, the snake moves forward very fast and not in a straight line. So they have the thin, flexible vertebral column, otherwise the backbone, and the muscle which help them to move from one place to another. Now let's see how birds fly. The birds, you know that they are lighter in weight as their bones are hollow and light. The bones of the hind limbs are typical for walking and perching. The bony parts of the forelimbs are modified as wings. The shoulder bones are strong. Their breast bones are modified to hold muscles of the flight, which are used to move the wings up and down. The bodies of the birds are streamlined, which helps them glide in air. So, what are the adaptations we can say? They have the streamlined shape of the body, their bones are hollow and light, and their breast bones are very strong for the flight. So, we have seen how the human skeletal system is made up of, and what are the function and what are the parts of the human skeleton, and then how the different animals move from one place to another. So you can read the textbook and find out the objectives and write in the textbook. Thank you.